In this video, we'll work with StringBuffer. So what we have is we have a string and we have worked with it, right? So what I will do is remove everything and let's work with StringBuffer. So I will say StringBuffer and let's create a reference for it equal to new StringBuffer. Now when we talk about StringBuffer, of course, in this StringBuffer, you will have a string and which is actually mutable. You can change it. Now to make it more efficient, you know what StringBuffer does? StringBuffer will give you a buffer size, okay, which is of 16 bytes. So I can just try to print that first. I will say sb dot. So we can know the capacity of this StringBuffer. Even if it is empty, it will give a capacity of 16 characters and you got it there. In fact, you can also provide some initial string here. So let's say, if I say Navin here, now Navin is of 5 characters, right? This is how you basically create a StringBuffer. In bracket, you mention this string. So it will create a StringBuffer object. And the beauty is you can change this data. Okay. Now, the thing is, if we talk about capacity, what it will be. So capacity should be still 16, right? No, it actually changes. If you can see, the capacity will become 21. It's because it will store my name and it will also give me a 16 space extra. Now, why it gives me that space is because every time you change data, and if it consumes a continuous memory location inside your heap memory, and what if there's no continuous location next? I mean, what if there's no location available? There's no space available. In that case, it has to relocate. So to reduce the relocation of the string, it gives you a buffer. Okay, so that's the capacity. And now we know how it works. We can also print the length of the string. We can say sb.length. And length is available in normal string as well. So if I compile and run, you can see the length is 5. So length and capacity are two different things. Okay, now can I append data? See, the ultimate thing was, can I change my data, which is Navin in this case? The beauty is StringBuffer will give you a lot of different methods to do that. You can see we have a method called append. So you can use append and you can append any data which you want to. So let's say I want to append Reddy here. And of course, I want to give a space between Navin and Reddy. So you can append and you can print the data. So you can print SB as it is. First we have to compile the code, run, and you can see we got Navin Reddy. That works. Next, what if you want to assign string buffer data to string? Example, if I do that, you can see it will give you error. It says type mismatch, cannot convert from string buffer to string. Of course, right? str is of type string. So in that case, you can get the string back. Do we have a method for it? Let's see. Yes, we do have toString. We can use that. I think that's the only method we can use. Yeah, so let's use toString. So basically, you can use toString to convert the string buffer data. I mean, it will get the string format. It will store in str and you can print it. Okay, we can use that. What else we can do with string buffer? If I come back here, if I say sb dot, you can see we have so many methods here. Okay, so we have append, we have chars. It will give you a character. We have done that. Okay, so we can also delete something. We can delete a character at an index. So let's say I want to delete a character at location 2. If you try to delete that data, compile and run, you can see we got, something is missing. The V is missing there because that is at index number 2. Okay, so the idea is we can change it and you can experiment it a lot. You can try to use different methods. We can delete, we can insert also in between. Let's say I want to insert Java at the start. You can do that. So you can say insert. You can mention the index value where you want to insert at 0th location and the data which you want to insert. So I will say Java space. Now what it will do is it will add Java at index 0. I mean, that is start itself. So if I run, you can see it says Java. Of course, you can add Java in between as well. Let's say I want to add after 5th location. I think that should work. After the space, it's 6. So let's try that. Compile, run. You can see Navin Java ready. So it works. Okay, so yeah, that's how we can basically use insert. We have more methods to explore and I would recommend you to do that. Can we see one more? We can also get this substring. Let's say if you have a very big string, you can specify the starting point, ending point using substring. You can set the length as well. So if you set the length of the stream, let's say I want to set the length of 30. So if you want to add your data and if you want to have a specific length, which is 30 here, it will save the data, which is whatever you have. Navin Reddy will be stored and all the other values will be null. Let's see. So after Navin Reddy, it will add some extra data here. Okay, so that you can replace that later. Cool. We can do that. We can also set minimum or maximum data. I think there's minimum capacity method which we can use. I think the method name is ensure capacity. Yeah, okay. So we can say we can set the ensure capacity to 100. So it by minimum capacity will be 100. Okay, that's how you have different methods. Now, what's the difference between StringBuffer and StringBuilder? So as I mentioned, we also have StringBuilder, right? There's only one difference. StringBuffer is thread safe and StringBuilder is not. Now, what is thread safe means that we'll understand once we talk about thread concept. So at that point also, we'll talk about difference between StringBuffer and StringBuilder. But whatever methods you have in StringBuffer, it's almost same as StringBuilder. So if you know one, you know the other one as well. Okay, so that's about StringBuffer and some of the methods of string.